Hello everyone again, and welcome to this video, the next in our series on the Magdalene institutions in Ireland in 20th century. And today I have with me Jennifer Maddy again. Jennifer already has done a video for us, and you saw that within the last few weeks. And I have got Karl O'Kelly here as well. And the reason we have two people here is because I thought it would be a good idea to compare and contrast two different lives. And Jenny and Karl have had lots of similarities in their lives and also a lot of differences. The main difference being that, well, we start at the beginning. Jennifer and Karl, you're very welcome, and thank you for agreeing to do the video. Let's start at the beginning. You both were born in mother and baby homes. Yeah. Jenny, you were Castlepollard. Karl, you were
St. Patrick's
in the Navan Road in Dublin. And we have a photograph here of what it looked like. Okay?
Yeah.
You weren't there very long anyway, so you weren't, Karl. No, right, okay. You were both adopted by very loving families and moved into very loving families.
Yeah.
But Jennifer, while yours was disaster-free, there were a couple of tragedies in your family, weren't there? Tell us about them. Three. Come up with the three, Karl.
Well, first of all, my adopted dad died of a heart attack in 1991 coming from Mass. And then, first up, my brother Fergus died of muscular dystrophy because my adopted mum was a carrier. So if she got married now, if she had any girls, it wouldn't affect the girls, but boys it would. So then Garrett, 1995, he had it as well. And years ago, if you had it, you would only live until 16. Now it's 23.
Right, okay. Were you very close to your two adoptive brothers? Yeah. You were. So that was a big loss for you?
Big loss for me and my mum.
And your mum, yeah. And your mother and father, your adopted mother and father had no children before you, and when they adopted you, she had the two boys then?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. And you two have known each other for a little while, and you keep in touch because
5 years.
5 years, yes. We met at a reunion in Castlepollard 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it was a beautiful reunion, and all the cribmates around.
Cribmates, yes.
Cribmates from America and Ireland, all over Ireland, come together.
Yeah.
It's great to have that contact, isn't it? Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Now, both of your adoptive mothers and parents encourage you to look for your real birth mother.
Yeah.
And here's where the story is very, very different now. Jennifer, you found your birth mother.
I did.
And it was too late for you to meet her because she'd passed on.
Yes.
But Karl, you found your mother as well. She was alive, but she didn't want to know you, and still doesn't.
Yeah. Her name is Margaret, the same name as my adopted mum.
But you call her Peggy?
My adopted mum
is called Peggy, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, but her real name is Margaret. Yeah. Now.
That's a coincidence, isn't it?
It is.
It is, yeah.
And 10 years. My real mum is 10 years younger than my adopted mum. She's 80 and my adopted mum
They were
is
older,
90.
yes, yeah. She's in a nursing home now, isn't she? And you go to see her every day. And you're the light of her life, Karl, aren't you? Yeah. So you see, you did find love. There was a lot of love in your life, wasn't there? Now, Karl, I'm sure you've thought of this many times. And ask yourself, why did my real mother not want to know me? And there are a number of reasons. Number one, because you found out she told you she was raped, didn't she? In one of the phone calls, she told you she was raped. So maybe she doesn't want to remember that part of her life.
True, yeah.
That's, because remember, she was a victim of this as well as you were. And maybe number two, our reason could be that because of the shame and the guilt attached to it all, she's put that part behind her.
Yeah.
And number three, maybe the embarrassment and guilt facing you about not being able to care for you in the way a mother should be. Maybe she can't cope with that, Karl. Because again, she was a victim of the system too, as well as you were.
Yeah.
And maybe she's married again and has a new family and they don't know, she hasn't told them. Is she married again? Do you know that about her?
I haven't a clue.
So she could be married with a new family.
The last time I was speaking to her was, say, the early 90s. I used to have her phone number.
The early 90s?
No, like when I tracked her down, right?
Yes.
I used to ring every night, every day. And I was upstairs one Friday night doing something and the phone kept ringing and ringing downstairs, and ran down, picked up the phone, and it was my real mum, and she was saying, where were you? Where were you? And I said, upstairs doing a thing. And so we got talking, and I was that excited.
Of course.
Every day I kept ringing her, and one day I rang and she must have blocked her number on me. So,
have you any resentment or hatred towards her, Karl?
no, I would love to meet
Because
her.
of the rejection, because you'd love to meet. If you got one wish, would that be your one wish, to meet her? And any phone calls that were made, it was you was making the phone calls, not her, isn't that
Not
right?
her,
One-way
just
system
me.
here. And you don't even know if she's married or what the situation is, Karl, no?
I haven't a clue.
Karl, can I ask you, Jenny, we know how you found your mother. How did you find your real mother?
It was through Kuma, the adoption agency.
Yes.
So I went in there and they helped me trace.
They helped you trace him.
My mum had unfortunately passed away, but I'm my grandmother.
You have a whole new family there.
Yeah,
But Karl, you've nobody.
No. I know she's from
Limerick.
On the Limerick border, Tip and Limerick.
That's all you know.
It used to be called Capanook way back in the 20s or 30s. Now it's under a new name.
That's where your stories are very, very different.
Yeah.
You got a whole new family in Kerry.
I did.
Didn't you?
Kerry and Cork,
yes.
Andover,
And you found your real father too?
I did.
You don't even know who your real father is,
don't.
Karl. See, that's the life you have known, isn't it? Very much on your own. Yeah. And Karl, can I ask you something else too? You're adopted at a very, very young age, like Jenny too, very, very young age. And it was only a few years after you were adopted that it was discovered that you had been deprived of oxygen at your birth. Do you want to tell us how that affects you, Karl?
Yeah, I don't mind. Like, I was in a pub with friends and like we got talking, and a friend joined up and got talking again, and he says, what is he talking real slow for? So I don't like people like that. You know?
Okay. And Karl, how has that affected you in your life since that? Does it have a big impact on your life?
Not in a way, but in a certain way it does. Like when I left school, I went to a special school because...
what school was that in?
John of God.
John of God, where was that in?
Blackrock.
Blackrock, yes.
Yeah.
And what age were you when you left that, Karl?
1982, 18.
And where did you go after that then?
I had to stay at home, my brothers, because...
Okay.
And then, first of all, I went to Super Quinn.
You were working there, yes?
I wasn't working, I thought I was. And it was, before you walk, you do...
sort of practice and apprenticeship, yes. Work experience,
I really worked for Tesco's, but at the start it was okay, but in the end...
But you went on the radio, didn't you?
Yeah.
What was the name of the radio that
Radio City.
Yes.
Pirates Radio.
Doing what?
DJ. I used to do discos as well.
And you enjoyed that?
Loved it.
Well, again, the difference, you don't know, Karl, but Jenny, you know that your mother was in Castlepollard of her own accord.
Yes. She
deliberately and willingly signed in to avoid the shame and the stigma attached to it all. And nobody in her family knew about it.
No, our sister in London knew about it, but that was the only person.
That was the only person who knew about it. Karl, you have no idea. You don't know why your mother was in, no?
And can I say this, Eileen, by the way, it's coming up to Christmas, so I wore a Christmas jumper.
You wore your Christmas jumper, yeah. And you will spend Christmas with your adoptive mother is in a nursing home, isn't she? And you will spend Christmas with her there.
Christmas up there, yeah.
With her, right? That's lovely for both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for both of you. But you have no idea why your mother ended up in Navan Road, apart from the fact of being pregnant. Did she self-refer? Was she forced in by her parents? You don't know?
I don't know.
Or the priest? You don't know anything about that?
I haven't a clue.
No. You don't know where she went when she left you?
No.
The day you were taken out, she left the day after that. You don't know where she went, no?
I don't know.
Karl, can I ask you, Jenny's just told us how she found her mother. How did you eventually trace her to be able to phone her? How did you do that? What route did you go down?
A long time ago, like...
was it the adoption agency as well that helped you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, out in... where was it? Out in West Dublin, I went out.
Okay.
And one day I was talking to my social worker at the time, and she said, if you go down, Karl, and say about who's your mother's name, like none of the neighbours would want to know that she had a baby. So I think that's why she came to Dublin.
Yep, to get away from the neighbourhood, the small rural Ireland, to come to the big city where you're more anonymous, Karl, you've no resentment towards her, you haven't?
No.
Do you feel sorry for her? Do you sympathise with her, or do you?
I sympathise with her, and all the women at that time.
Yeah, because they were victims of the system. It was the system that was at fault. Yeah. Have you enjoyed life, Karl? Has life been good to you?
Yeah.
Has life been
life
good
has
to you?
been good up to, like what did since
in the last few years,
your mum has been right.
His mum isn't well. She's 90, so she's
90.
He has.
That's Peggy.
That's Peggy. Yeah.
I don't like the word dementia, but memory loss.
Memory loss. And when you go, she knows you all the time when you go in, doesn't she? Yeah. And how long would you spend with her there every day, just sitting talking to her?
I would go up there about, say, 1 or 2 and go about 7.5.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely for both of you.
Yeah.
And you're the only one she has left in her life. She's no other relationship. She hasn't. Right.
But sometimes I feel lonely, leaving the nursing home to go back home to an empty house.
Yes.
So I don't.
So after your 2 brothers and your father died, you lived with her, just the 2 of you in that house, didn't you?
And Fergus and Garrett.
And then when they died, there was just yourself and Peggy, yes.
Yeah.
And you see her as your real mother, don't you? She is your mother, Karl, where are you going from here into 2025? We're coming to 2025 now. What do you think? If I could give you one wish, what would it be?
Meet my real mom.
Meet your real mom.
Yeah. It sort of brings closure when you find her.
It brings closure, yeah. But you have found her.
Yeah.
But she just doesn't want to know you.
No.
That must hurt in a certain way. Does it?
Well...
It is as it is. Is that the way you look at it?
Yeah. What life, like I said it to a friend during the week, what life Jennifer would know, what life
throws at you.
Yeah.
You've got to cope with, haven't you?
Do.
Yeah. So you've got great sympathy too for other people in the same situation as you. And you've got great sympathy for these women who had to go into these homes to have their babies, don't you, Karl?
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Are you active in any work you do for these people? Are you?
What do you mean?
Are you in any committees or any societies or any?
No.
No, but he goes to the reunions.
You go to the reunions?
Yeah, when they're on.
When they're on. Once
and you find comfort in that, don't you?
Yeah. We all do.
It's just that sense of belonging. It's the crib mates coming together.
Crib mates.
And everybody's got a story, and it's listening to other people's stories and realising you're not on your own. So many people have gone through this experience.
That's very important for you, Karl, isn't it? That you're not on your own. And there are other people besides you whose mothers have refused to see them. You're just the first one that has come on to do the interview.
Yes.
What does 2025, what are you hoping for in 2025? What way is your life going to go?
Like it can't be done, but I would love if my adopted mum came home, and my adopted mum would love to come home, but sadly she can't.
That's Peggy, yeah. But you wouldn't be able to look after her because she has special needs there that only can be met in the nursing home, hasn't she?
True.
But I mean, you still have access to her, and that's a good time. You spend a lot of hours there every day. Yeah. Anything else you want to tell us, Karl? Anything else you want to say before we...
Just as Jennifer was going to say, thank you for doing the interview with us.
You're welcome, Karl, because everybody has a story, and everybody's entitled to get their story out there.
Yeah.
You know, and this is our history. and it's also our present.
It is,
And
isn't it?
it's, you know, you can't stuff it down and expect it to go away. It's not going to, this is what should be in the history books.
Yeah, it should.
You know, this is what has made us the kind of people we are in Ireland. And the 20th century was a very, very cruel time.
Yeah.
You know, in regards to women and pregnancy outside of marriage, all that kind of thing, the shame and the guilt. It's our history and it has to be got out there because we have to heal. And we can't heal unless we know what it is we have to heal.
True.
You know?
It's bringing it to the surface.
It's bringing it to the surface. It has to be cleared. It has to be cleared, yeah.
And it's for the future, for the future generation.
Yeah, and telling your story too helps you to heal, Karl. And it makes you realize, well, there are people listening to me. It must be hard when you've got that and you feel nobody is listening, nobody wants to know, isn't it?
It's good to get it out there.
Of course, it has to come out, Karl.
Yeah.
It has to come out. Well, Karl, thank you very, very much for coming to do the interview with us. Thank you, Jenny, for joining in here because I thought it was lovely, not lovely, but I thought it was very interesting to compare your two stories because you started off very similar paths and then they went totally differently, didn't they?
Different directions. What brought us back together?
Back together, yeah. And you keep in touch a lot, don't you?
We do.
You do. That's lovely. And it's lovely for you to have people like Jennifer in your life, Karl.
He's got a good few friends in America and
in America.
Loads of friends.
Loads of friends all over.
So when you put this on Facebook, it will go out to your friends in America, will it?
Yeah. Have friends in Canada as well.
And Karl, do you ever go to see them?
No, just text them on Facebook or Messenger.
Do they ever come to see you?
Well, they would love to come to Ireland, but it costs, money.
I know. And is that why you don't go to see them, or is it because the flight would be too much for you?
No, me and money, we don't agree in certain ways.
You clash, do you?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Every time I see money in my hand, it has to go.
It has to go. You can't hold on to it.
Yeah.
You can't hold on to it. Well, again, thank you very much.
Okay.
And are you going up to see your adoptive mother today?
I'm taking a day off.
You'll see her tomorrow. You'll see her tomorrow. So, Karl, I wish you a very happy Christmas. You're all dressed, but you're all ready for it. And we'll get this video up as soon as possible and we'll see how many views you get in it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
And neither can I. And Jennifer, thank you for coming on board today.
Thanks so much, Ali. Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. I hope you found that interesting in comparing the two kind of lives here. And until we meet again, namaste.